message. Hello. Hi. I'll give you guys a second to hop on. Say hi when you're here. I want to know who's here. Hey, Joyka. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. Say hi, say hi. I'll give you a minute. Oh, you are here, Lauren. I was going to tease you. I was going to be like, Lauren, have Chris put them to bed. Hey, girls. Oh, lots of Moxies on here tonight. Hey, Melissa. I'm just going to let some people. Hey, Christina. I'm going to let some people hop on. Hey, Brittany. I'm super, super excited to be doing this training. Lauren has been asking me to do this for a year. And I kept deflecting. And I was like, I don't know. Sure. Like, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. I'll do it. And then I never did it. And then, you know how it goes. And the reason I haven't done it yet is because I kind of had to like absorb it. Hey, girls. I kind of had to absorb it a bit to really feel like I could tell this story with a purpose and give like good advice. Like if you're gonna do a story like this, you wanna have advice. Hey, Kelly, hey, Erica, hey, Brittany. Yeah. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, isn't it beautiful, Lauren? It's just like the perfect gray. Guys, our basement's been under construction. We're not done. Like, it's not done, but the wall is painted. Yes. Okay. Yes, I know you're glad. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Molly Stack. I'm an exclusive Black Status presenter. My team is Team Moxie, and Lauren is my sponsor, and I was her very first presenter. Signed up with her in August of 2014. At the time, I had 3 little boys. My youngest was about 3 months old when I signed up, and I just went all in. I went all in. I was the type of person that Lauren had to remind me because I couldn't remember the exact order. I ordered my mascara from her because I saw her posting it. We were internet friends. We both had blogs back in the day, and that's how we met. Oh, Lauren. I wish I had 2 margaritas. And I had bought the mascara from her. Before it arrived, I saw her posting, and it started getting in my head, the opportunity. She hadn't talked to me about it, nothing. I reached out to her, and I was like, tell me about this business. So by the time I got my mascara and I put it on my face, it made me cry, not like bawl, but it made me tear up the first time I put on the original 3D mascara because I was a mom, I was postpartum, I was gross, I was sweaty, I was leaking things. Yeah, if you've ever had a kid, you know what I mean. And the mascara made me feel beautiful. And as soon as I felt that, I knew other women needed to feel what I was feeling. So I stayed up one whole night that night. I could not stop thinking about it. And the next morning I joined. And from there, I told Lauren, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this all the way. And for me, that meant Black Status. Because A, that's my personality. Like, I'm not going to start something that I'm not going to be able to finish. And B, I think if I'm being honest, because there is this stigma around direct sales, I felt like if I was going to do it, I was going to prove all the haters wrong. You know what I mean? Guys, I saw somebody said it's kind of pausing. If you guys are having trouble, let me know. I'll restart before we get too far in if it's too pausy. So hopefully that's only for you, Glennis, if you can close out and start over. So August 2014, I joined. I hit yellow within my first 2 weeks or something like that. And then I double promoted pink to blue a couple months later. So I was like on fire. I was going. I was like really pumped up. Everything. I was getting sales and people were joining me. It all felt so good. And then in February of 2015, I hit green. Okay. So it took me 8 months to get to green status. Now, guys, please remember that everybody's journey is different. When I joined, I was coming from the team of Brianne Kerr, Lauren's upline. Brianne hit black status in 8 months, okay? So that's my first step for you guys. Forget about what other people are doing. You've heard the phrase, don't compare your chapter 1 to her chapter 20, right? If I had already gone in comparing myself to Brie and being like, well, I only hit elite, I only hit green status in 8 months, I didn't hit black status, where would I be? I'd be in a hole, or I would have quit by then. You know what I mean? So that's my first little piece of advice. Your journey is your journey. So my journey took me to elite status by 8 months, February 2015. In August of 2015, I went to my very first convention in Chicago. I got to meet a lot of you guys there, and I was loving it. I had my green badge. I was like taking the selfies. I was all over the place. I'm feeling the green. And I remember having a dinner with Brianne. Okay, I had a dinner with with everybody, but I was sitting with Brianne at dinner. We were talking, and I was like, I am coming back to convention next year as black status. Black status. And she was like, yes, yes. And she was like encouraging me and doing all these things, but she also said, but it might take a little bit longer. She's like, I'm not saying you can't do it. It might take a little bit longer, okay? Now, that didn't discourage me. For me, I was like, psh, girl, okay, I'm coming back as black status, okay? So that was August 2015. 2 weeks later, I got a little surprise when I learned that when I had been at a convention, I was also carrying my 4th in my belly. So 2 weeks later, I found out, oops, surprise, pregnant. Again, 4 babies. So on my way to my big goals, here I am, pregnant, and the sickest I had ever been with any of my kids. So Moxie, Team Moxie hit orange status November of 2015. And when I say that I was sick, guys, I was literally working on the floor of my bathroom. You can ask Lauren. I would call her and be like, I just vomited, but I sold a collection. Like, woo, like literally on, is that not the best that we have our phones to work from? Because this whole big thing in my life was happening, but I still had this goal set and I was still driven. I was going. I was like, yes. So November 2015, orange status. And I'm like, it's happening. I am going to, what was next? St. Louis. I was going to St. Louis. I was going to walk that stage as a black status presenter. I had time. I had like 9 months to do it. It was happening. Guess what happened? It didn't happen. Didn't happen. What did happen was 11 straight months at orange status. Now, I know that a lot of people say, I get discouraged, I feel stuck. And guys, I had felt that too. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I felt like I was rocketing to the top. I felt like I was doing all the right things and I was going to get there because I had made that decision. And all of a sudden, this reality came crashing down on me that that's not what was happening. All of a sudden, it wasn't working the same. My team sales weren't moving. The team numbers were inching slow. My sales were fine. You know, some things come easier to other people. Not to be cocky, but guys, I got sales down. I can sell sponges to people on Facebook. I legit have sold sponges. People have bought sponges that I said I like. I just, that's part of my personality. I recommend things, people like that. So I don't have a problem selling things. But for some reason, I couldn't duplicate that to my team and I couldn't sponsor the same that I had been sponsoring, and I felt awful and I started questioning everything. Now, I did talk to Lauren. Lauren and I talk a lot. I did talk to her about some of this stuff, but I never really told her how frustrated I was because I felt like then I was failing. Because here I had been this, like, not golden child, but like the one who was doing it. I was doing it, and then I wasn't. So month after month after month went by at orange, and we weren't even requalifying orange every month, but we were still orange status, right? So in October, no, you didn't, Lauren. I never actually told you how discouraged I was. And that's probably not a good thing, guys. I don't recommend that. But this brings us to October of 2016, okay? I'd been orange for 11 months. I had now at this time had my 4th baby. He was born in April of that year. I had brought that baby to convention. I had walked the stage as orange status, still an amazing accomplishment, but now feeling stuck. And that October, I had one of these like breakdowns. I don't know if you guys were around that October, but that October was really weird sales-wise. A lot of us had really low personal and company sales. There was a lot of discouragement going on just like within ourselves. And I started questioning everything. I started thinking, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe this is not the right place for me. And it wasn't about the company. I never blamed the company, the products, the corporate stuff, the mission, none of that. That's not what I was questioning. I was questioning me and my abilities. And I started thinking, maybe this isn't right for me. Okay? Now, I am very financially driven. So at this point, I was like, well, if I'm going to walk away from this, I have to do something, because now I've gotten accustomed to bringing in the extra money and I want to be a part of something that's going to let me do this. So I actually took a call with another opportunity, not makeup, because that would be ridiculous, right? Not makeup. Guys, I will read your questions and come back to you after. Otherwise, I'll be like, squirrel, you know. I did take an opportunity call with another company. And the whole time I kept thinking, this isn't what I want. I know this isn't what I want, because here's the thing, guys. I love my team. Like, my team, they are my heart. My girls know that. They will tell you, Team Moxie is a family. And even the fact that I had taken a phone call, I felt so broken over that, over knowing that I was even thinking about walking away from the family that I had created. And that alone was the biggest kick in my pants. When I had that snap judgment of, how can you do this to your girls? That's when I had my big aha moment, okay? So what do I mean by my big aha moment? Now I've taken you through the back end of this, right? Well, I decided that I needed to stop drowning myself in the sorrows, drowning myself in the boo-hoos, drowning myself in the I can'ts, and turn it into I will. And for me, I made the snap decision that I was going to start like I was a white status presenter. Because here's the thing, guys, and you know, if you're yellow or pink, if you're still kind of brand new here, you might not have gotten to what I was kind of doing, which is I had stepped away from the basics that we do all the time, the excitement that we put out on our walls, the mascara posts. I wasn't doing mascara posts anymore. And it's not because I didn't want to or because I thought that I was too good for it. It's because I had shifted my focus too much. You can love your team and support your team, but you need to remember that your team is really only a fraction of your business. You are your business, because here is a big truth, guys. Nobody, not your husband, not your mom, not your best friend, not your team, nobody is going to care about your goals and your dreams as much as you. You care about it the most, which means it has to start with you, and it needed to start with me. It needed to start with me, which meant I needed to start over. So I did. I literally pretended I had signed up that day. I didn't tell Lauren this. I didn't tell her. I just did it. I went back to pretending that I had opened my kit and the excitement that I felt when I pulled out that mascara, and I went back on my wall. I went back and I started talking to the people who I was afraid to talk to the first go around because I didn't think she'd want to join, or all those things. And I started doing those things over again. It was not magic. It still took time. But here's what happens. You as a leader, and you are a leader the minute you sign your first presenter. You are. You build your team from the day you start with your first presenter. So you are a leader. You're setting the pace. So when I made that decision, what happened is that I shifted. And my team felt that, because you guys know what you put out into the universe, you get back. That's totally true. The universe feels that. I started doing these things, and I started sharing my heart more with my team. I used to not tell my team how close we were to green status, how close we were to orange status, because I felt that meant that I was only talking about myself. But Talita, who is on here, and actually Talita and I just talked about this today, Toledo was the one that would come to me and be like, hey, how close are we to whatever? Or how close are we to requalifying? And I'd be like, really? You want to know that? She's like, yeah, that drives me because I'm feeling like I'm part of something bigger and I want to be a part of that. And when she said that to me, I was like, oh, all right. So I started sharing in Moxie. We're 20% to elite this month. We're at this percent, they were this percent, because what happens is then they get fired up because they're chasing their own goals. And they're like, look what I'm doing. I'm doing something that's now helping the greater good. Because you know what? There's people that are running for massive, massive things. And there's people that just want to be a part of something. And those people now had an opportunity to be a part of something bigger. So I really started sharing that, and a lot. And I really had to look back inside myself as a leader and come to the conclusion that I had gotten a little complacent, that I wasn't giving my team the best example that I could. And when I made that decision, guys, this is what happened. October of 2016, orange status with one elite presenter on Team Moxie. Okay? November, December, January, February of 2017, Team Moxie went purple. Okay? We went purple. We had two elites. We had one in October. We now had two. We hit purple status. And it was like, wow, look what happened after sitting there for so long. By the time we got to purple, I had been orange for 15 months. 15 months at orange. We went purple. Now, here's what happened when we went purple, guys. It was like, because everybody was part of it. We went purple live. I watched it with my team. We did it. We were excited. And then came March of 2017. And March, we still had momentum. We were going because February was so exciting, because that's what happens, right? When you inspire people, when you set the pace, the snowball starts going. So all of this was moving. We were going, and we hit mid-month of March. I can't remember the date, but it was mid-month. And Lauren, who was up in her back office, she calls me up and she's like, so we going black this month? And I'm like, no, we're not going. What are you talking about? We just hit purple. We're not going black. Like, we're going to requalify. We have to, we have to put in the time. We have to earn purple. We already hit purple. And she's like, well, you could hit black. Now, guys, our numbers were not anything like groundbreaking. I can't remember, but I remember, I wish I had written it down. We had not like requalified purple at this point. I think we were around like 30,000 company or something, but she said it. She saw it in me. She saw it in Moxie. And as soon as she said it, I was like, okay, I guess we're going to do it. So we did. I went to Moxie and I claimed it, and I was like, we're doing it. I went out on my wall. Scariest place ever, right? But guys, you got to tell your network what you are working for, because people want to help people. People want to cheer you on. Don't make it about buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. But when you share what you're genuinely excited about, when you share about the company you love and you share about the accomplishments of the women on your team, people relate to that. People are drawn to that. So I was like, Moxie, 10% to black. And guys, we ran and we hit black status 1 month after going purple, not with one elite, not with two elites, but with 5 first-gen elites, 4 second-gens, and 1 third. Moxie went from 1 elite to 10 elites from October to March, and we hit black status. And that, by far, was the most amazing moment ever. We were crying, like legit. There are screenshots of like me with the computer and the phone and my Moxies and the comments and the tears, and it was amazing. We did it. Now, what happens after that? What happens after that, guys? Well, we learned a really big lesson. I learned a really big lesson. Because let me tell you something else. Moxie has not requalified Black every month. We've done it multiple times, but not every month. We've had months that really struggled. We've only hit green a couple months ago. We only requalified green, but we're still Black status. We still hit Black status, which means we deserve Black status. We deserve the accomplishments that we earned. And this is where I want to say it to you guys. If you are struggling, if you feel like I hit pink and I haven't been able to requalify, you are worthy of pink status. You did the work to get to pink status. You can hit pink status again, but it's all up in here. It's all up in here. Guys, you're gonna have failures. You're gonna have times that don't work, things that don't work, parties that fail, hostesses that bail on you, PRS that stinks. These things happen, but you have a choice. You can either take these failures and go dig your whole head in the sand like I did and be stuck for over a year. And let me tell you guys that the longer you're stuck, the harder it is to get out. Don't do that. Don't do that. Take your head out of the sand. Pull out your flashlight, guys, and turn it on. Use those failures as a reason to point your flashlight in a new direction and find a new path. Find a new path. If something doesn't work, do something else. And if that doesn't work, do something else. There's always something else. There's something else to try. Don't get bogged down in the this didn't work. Guys, I did a flash sale a couple days ago in my VIP. You know how many people commented? 0. So what do I hear from some people? I did a VIP sale, nobody bought, so I suck. Or, well, this didn't work. What can I do today? It's all up in here, guys. And I can say that to you, and I can say it to you with love because I was there. Because I was there. I've done a training. I know Lauren did a training recently. I did a training about deservability versus achievability. I think that's what it was called. Deb Erickson, I know you guys have watched some of her stuff. She talked about this. I was able to go to the Purple Status Retreat last year, and Deb Erickson really touched on feelings of worthiness. And I struggled with that the month after we hit Black because I felt like it just happened so fast that how could we possibly be deserving of Black status? Like how, don't I have to earn it? Don't I have to be there longer? But here's what I've come to realize, guys. Even the months that we don't requalify, sorry, this is bugging me. We're still Black status. Sometimes I like to say we're a really strong Purple status team who has achieved Black status. And one day, we'll be a really strong Black status team who has achieved Black status 1. And then, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? I don't get so bogged down anymore in the fact that we might not requalify 1 month or that the company sales aren't like they were 2 months ago, because here's the deal, guys. Are we not in the best industry? Are we not in the best possible place to have growth and success? Lauren, what are you contradicting here? What are you contradicting? Okay, guys, but hear what I'm saying. We are Black status, but the months that we don't hit Black is what I'm saying. The months we don't requalify, when we're a really strong Purple status team that month, that's okay because we have done the work. We have achieved Black status. We are Black status. Moxie, you are Black status. Don't get me wrong. But on those months that we only hit Purple, when we only hit Purple, that doesn't make us less deserving of the title and the work that we have done. Does that make sense? So if you are struggling to get to Blue status, and you only keep hitting Pink, you're not a failure. You're a really strong Pink status presenter who is working her way up to Blue. When I go back to saying what I was just saying about being in the best industry, I like to say that, so I'm 35. In 5 years, I've only been doing this 3.5 years. If in 5 years, I'm on that wall of influence, if I'm making Sherry Brown money in 5 years, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. That's not a failure because it would have taken me 8 years to get to this big financial goal, right? Stop putting a timeline on your success. I'm not saying don't work hard. I'm not saying don't set goals and don't run for your goals, but don't set a timeline on your ultimate success and make yourself a failure if you haven't achieved it by then. If I had continued to do that, if I had said, well, I didn't walk that stage, my second convention, as Black status, and therefore I fail, if I had really truly let that get in my head, I would have walked away that October. I would have been gone and I wouldn't be here. And so many of you wouldn't be here. Don't set a timeline. Set goals, crush goals. But your ultimate success does not have an endpoint, guys. It doesn't. I wrote notes. I want to make sure that I don't forget some of them because I was like jotting them down. I think we're good. Commit to it though. Really truly commit to this. If you are feeling stuck and you are listening to this and you're saying, yes, I am going to start from scratch, I'm going to do it, then commit to it, which means it's going to be hard. It's going to be long. You might not reach your goal in a month, in 2 months, in 3 months. It's what Brianne was saying in my ear. Yes, you can. It might take a little longer. That's all. That's all. I needed to get over that. I needed to get over that. And you guys need to get over that. Every single person here has the potential, if it's what you want, to be at the top of the company. There is room for all of us. All of us. You don't have to be a viral sensation. You don't have to be the loudest or have the brightest hair or any of that. You just need to keep telling yourself that you have it in you. And on the days that you don't believe it, you reach out to the people here who do believe in you. That's what the teams are for. That's what the teams are for. Those back to basics things, guys, book, sell, sponsor, network, that's all it is. Yeah, we get creative and we mix things up, but at the heart of it, there is no secret sauce. There is no magic solution. You just keep going. You just keep going. And it is a mindset thing. And guys, get in your personal development, read the books. I like to call it floopy. Some of this stuff it's floopy because when you talk about mindset, you're like, okay. When I talk about putting it out to the universe and setting your intentions, I do that stuff. In the morning, before I get out of bed, I lay in bed and I set my intentions for the day, for my business. I should probably do it for my life too, but one thing at a time, but I do it for my business. I set my intentions. I believe that opportunity is waiting for me. I believe that I will be connected with the people I need to be connected with, and I believe that I will go out and find a way to do it. It starts inside, because when you set that intention, when you truly, truly believe that it's out there for you, you will start working like you're gonna grab hold of it. It's all in here. It's all in here. I know, it's floopy, right? It's floopy, but it's true. It's true. I do believe, Lauren, I'm business first in life. Well, the thing is, if you could see this room, you would understand my life is not together. That's one more point. It's off topic, but guys, cut yourself some slack. You can't do all the things. You can do a lot of things, but you cannot do all the things. So if you have a pile of laundry, or if you have a thing of dishes, or if the kids are wearing the same pants from 4 days ago, it's fine. Some months it's gonna be that way. Not every month, but some months. Some months. All right, let me scroll back through the comments because I know a lot of you were talking. I don't want to miss anything. And if you post questions later, I will come back and read them. Ooh, hey, 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 hey. All right, let's see. That wall color. It's called Agreeable Gray. It's by Sherwin Williams. You're welcome. Oh, all right, let's see. Not to mention, Lauren, you had a ton of relationships coming into this. You had a blog with a significant following. Everyone comes with a different background. That's totally true. Again, to bring Brianne into it, Brianne had this very, very large network from her doula and natural birth and things like that. She had a huge network when she started. So she already had a lot of people to talk to. If you're coming in with like no social media presence or a very small network, you're gonna have to do more work to get to that level, which just means more time, which doesn't mean failure, right? Doesn't mean failure, just means more time. Just means more time. Yep. Talita, is it awful? I'm glad you went through this because it makes me feel like you will be able to help me. That sounds so selfish, but you know what you mean. I don't think that sounds bad. I think sometimes, this statement just made me start to tear up a little bit. I think sometimes in life, we are given these big mountains so that in turn, we can show others how to climb them and to show others that it can be climbed. And if I had to have this mountain, if I had to have this big mountain of being stuck for 15 months to show other people that you can do it and to show my team that you're not a failure if it takes you longer, then that was a mountain that I needed to climb. I was new and oblivious, yellow just like the sisterhood and something to do. I'm glad you never showed this discouragement because I was there and it kept me sane. Yeah. Moxie is an amazing community. A leader even before the first, we have to lead ourselves too. One of my first lessons in Moxie was always to be acting like a white status presenter, experiment and show the enthusiasm. I had just joined, it was inspiring. Kimmy, and you do that so well. You do that so well. I'm really glad you're sharing this part as well. I think a lot of people can relate. Leaders are afraid to share where they're at in relation to their goals. We don't want to be selfish. Yeah, because we get worried, we get bogged down that if we talk about our own goals, then somehow it's all about us and we're selfish. And you know, guys, there's a lot of personalities out there. You may experience a person in your time who says to you, you're being selfish for sharing your goals or encouraging other people to do things which in turn will help you reach a goal. But that's how this business works. You know, when it's a run month for me and my sisters lift me up, we get there together. And then when it's their turn, their sisters lift them up. And that's how we all rise together. Yeah, it was so awesome you guys all were there for that. All I know is we were on spring break and we were in Houston, so definitely mid-month. Okay, so like mid-month March. It will pop up in your memories, Lauren. Claim it, Laura. When you do that and maybe fall a little short, do you feel like it takes away from it if you try again at another time? I don't mean posting all the time, but your big goals. Oh, I see what you're saying. So, no, I don't. And here's the thing, guys, because in real life, you know, outside of what we do too, in real life, people fail. But it's the people that fall down again and again and again and keep going that inspire us. It's not the person who falls down and walks away that is inspiring. It's the person that falls down, who gets stomped on and still stands up, dusts her shoulders off and tries again. So I don't think it's a bad thing to share it every time. So many people came out for my green runs. That's right, runs, plural, because it took a few months to get there. People love being a party to something amazing. And look, here you are, green, running for orange, and people are still cheering you on. Exactly. Kelly, March 2017 was killer. That's when I hit green and requalified April, and not since. Totally need this. Kelly, you can do this. You can do this. Get out of your head. You were announcing my black. Yes. March 2017 was my biggest month. Remember me claiming black. We're going to skip over this whole thing where you guys tell me that we are not purple, we're black. You know what I meant. Let's see. Tears in Lauren's eyeballs. Joyka, what do you need me to say louder? I'll yell it. More time doesn't mean failure. More time doesn't mean failure. Do you hear that, Joyka's husband? Teresa came in with 37 friends on Facebook, and look at her now. She's running for Elite this month. Yep. The person who gets stomped on stands up and tries again. Yes. Needlewords. It's floopy. It's 2 O's, not floppy, floopy. Oh, about the laundry in the house. Girl, you should have seen my life last February and March. My husband was awesome. I told him in the beginning, I was like, look, we're running. I'm gonna need a little extra help. And he's like, all right, we're good. But guys, it was, let's just be thankful my children were like somewhat bathed and clothed. But here's the thing, when you run, that month is nuts, but not every month is a run month. We happen to do it back to back. I don't know how people were buying makeup from me, because I literally was like this all the time, unshowered, and you know. But when you have a run month, you go all in. You go all in. Everything else basically comes second. You know, you put your family in there because you love them, but everything else, hygiene, laundry, house, you're getting takeout, it comes second because you are working so hard for this ultimate goal. And when you run, regardless of whether or not you reach that ultimate goal, if you're running for pink this month, regardless of whether or not you hit pink, you've already amplified your business. You've raised your business this much. So even if you don't hit it, your business is already here. You were here, now you're here. So the next month when you're trying again, instead of having to go from here all the way to here, you only have this far to go because you put in all the time, you put in all the work. So not every month is gonna be like crazy person. Good, Eleanor, I'd love to chat too. Yes, not every month. But you're gonna have those months, and you have to commit to that, guys. You have to be honest with yourself. If you're gonna run, you have to just say, fear, I'm putting you down here, I'll deal with you later. There's no time for fear. Do you know the month that I went purple, I was in Facebook jail 4 times. Black, 2 times. Facebook, I shouldn't say it, jail. I was in the jail. No, Teresa, I cannot imagine having walked away. When I look back on it and I think, I would have been so sad. I would have been so sad. This opportunity has done more for me than I ever would have imagined when I first opened that mascara. It's not just my lashes that grew, guys. I grew as a person. I am a better mother, sister, friend, daughter, all those things, wife, because of this job. And it's woken a part of me that I did not know was in there. And it has opened other doors and other windows, and it has inspired me to do and try new things. And that's what this business does. But you have to be stronger than the fear. You have to. You have to tell the fear to shut it down and stomp on it and just say, I'll deal with you later. Deal with you. Yeah, Lauren, I forgot about it too until now. 28 months at green. How can I run for orange if no one in my team is running for green? You need new people, Erica. And I know you don't want to hear that because you're like, I know. But this is where I get into that point about forgetting about the timeline. If you have nobody that wants green, if you have nobody that is going to work towards the goals that are in turn going to help you reach your goals, because orange is such a weird one, right? Orange is weird. You need an elite. You need an elite. So Erica, you have to commit to starting over. You have to say, my goal of orange, it might not happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. 6 months, a year. But I'm putting on my blinders and I'm starting over. I'm going to find those people and I'm going to help them rise to their greatness. And when you do that, I bet you will find that that ultimate goal comes a lot faster than you think. You're so deep in your team because you love them and you want so much for them. Did you watch my chicken training? I have a whole training, I can link it afterwards, about not chasing chickens. And I'm not saying all of your team is chickens. But if you are continually trying to drag the people and lift them up and make them fly and they keep going like this and falling down, it's because they don't want the same things as you. Don't chase those chickens. Go out and find your sparrows. Go out and find your eagles. I have to link this training because you're probably like, what is she talking about? Start from scratch, Erica. You're not failing. If it takes you 2 more years, you're not failing. And I bet if you do that, what tends to happen is the success comes faster because you put in all that new time. Can you give us some specific examples of starting over? Besides the excitement, what did you do differently? Good, I'm glad you saw it. I'll still link it because I think it's relevant to what I'm talking about. Ashley, honestly, it wasn't new ideas. It was reharnessing the excitement I had, which I think had kind of dampened because I was in maintenance. I was showcase the product, you know, like go do a team training. I was doing a lot of team training, and that is valuable. Your team needs you. But I was so heavy focused on the team that I wasn't doing the steps that really made me who I was. And I'm trying to think about this. I should probably dig back and see what kind of posts. Molly had no one on her team who obviously wanted green at the time. When she went back to basics, it awakened her team, and suddenly many of our first line were ready for green. That's true. I like what Lauren's saying. When my team saw me going back and harnessing that excitement again, it inspired them to be excitement again. I think, and like Ashley, I can say, because you know, I know how you work and I know what you do. You get out there and you do these really awesome tutorials and lives and things. But you know what, guys? When I started, there was no live. There was no live at all. It didn't exist in my day. No, there was none. And I kind of think, in a way, that I liked it better, because I really had to be intentional about what I was showing my audience. I really had to think about, what am I going to show them today, and how am I going to incorporate my personality into it. My nose just got so itchy, guys. I think when I talk too much, my nose runs. I really had to be intentional. So are you being intentional with your posting? Are you really thinking about your market and bringing your excitement into it? Guys, pre-recorded videos, I love them. I love them. You don't even have to talk in them, but you can be campy and like excited. Go on my profile, you can see what I'm talking about. I have a couple on there. It just became fun again. I think I had lost the fun. I had lost the fun because it had become a job. And while this is a job, it's still the most fun job around. So you have to bring that excitement back. I loved making that Mother's Day video. That was right after Black Status, right? Let's see, put on your oxygen mask first. Absolutely. I had a lot of downs this winter. January, I had $120 in PRS. My team and I requalified blue last month, and I'm running for green. I know you are. You started over to relight your fire. You do. You have to bring the fun in because it's fun. What drew you in the beginning? What made you excited about this business? Reharness that. Stop worrying so much about what everybody else is doing, and set an example and lead them by what you do. So in my team right now, actually, my team is freaking on fire right now. I set a massive challenge for them. And I got really excited. Really, really excited. And I stayed up and I was making images and I was getting pumped. Well, here's what happened, guys. That excitement, Moxies, you know, that excitement that I spilled out into my team, we hit elite on day 1 of this March. We did over 10K in one day. We had not done that before. We gotten close. We hadn't done that before. And Lauren and I were talking about it. And she was like, you have to understand that you are a part of this. And it's really easy for you to be like, no, it's all my team. And it is so much my team. I mean, that was their numbers. They did that. But Lauren reminded me that it started with me. It started with my excitement and my belief in them. And that is what I mean by starting over. You have to show everybody, the world, how excited you are and driven. And just like the universe and its floopiness will give you your things back, when you put out that type of energy, you get that energy back. Moxie is rocketing towards Black Status this month. These women are on fire, and all I did was light the match, and that set them aflame. Tabitha is amazing with a Periscope. One thing she did differently, I think, from the outside is she really did focus on sponsoring again. She got mad at me. She got mad at me one time because I questioned her when she said her market had run cold for the opportunity, but later was like, yes, okay, I could do more. Yep. Okay, you guys know Lauren is my bestie, like legit. Lauren and I talk probably 3-4 times a day on the phone. What, is that excessive? I don't know. But, I don't ever get mad at her. Like, we just have a really easy friendship. But she did. I was complaining. I was bitching and moaning. And it probably was sometime, I'm sorry, I'm a hair player, guys. It was probably sometime in that slump. And I was complaining. And she was like, but have you really talked to everybody? And I was like, yes, Lauren, I have. And she's like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, I'll talk to you later. And then I started thinking about it. And no, she wasn't wrong. I had not talked to everybody. I had not. And now they joined my team. I use the iMovie app, Christina. Let's see. The big guns. Would we have done it? Would we have done it? Would your push? Don't know, you litify. Oh, without my push. I immediately posted and got a sale. It was a post I wouldn't have made. Exactly. Exactly. That's the thing. You have to sometimes push people. Lauren pushed me. I've pushed my girls. Not in a hard way. You have to recognize their greatness when they can't see it in themselves and then link arms. You have to set the example. I can't say to my team, go out and sell $5,000 this month and not run for that myself. That's not leading by example. But if I'm out there and I'm doing it and they see me doing it and then I'm coming back to them and I'm so excited, guys, this is working, it's so exciting, look where we are today, then they want to be part of it because that makes them think, well, I can do it too. I am no different than anybody on my team, just really loud. Melissa, I remember. Yep. And it's hard, right? Because sometimes you don't want to offend anybody. But sometimes you have to give them that nudge. You do. You do. All right, guys. I am rambling now. I hope this was really helpful. I will post the training that I did about the chickens and the eagles because that will tie into what I was talking about before. But please, please, please remember this. Please remember this. You are not failing. You may be struggling. You may be in a slump, but you are not failing. You're not failing. Turn on that flashlight, okay? Pick a new direction. Link arms. And be honest with yourself. Wait, that's one more thing I want to say. I do a lot of coaching calls. I work with a lot of people. And I hear time and time again, I'm running for this. I'm all in. And then they're watching Netflix. Or they're posting their dinners on Instagram, but they're not doing their work. And then they're like, no, it wasn't, it's too hard. I wasn't working for it. Guys, if you're going to commit to making a run for something, commit to yourself, not to me, not to Lauren. Commit to you. And then do the things that scare you. Can I get a word, swag, the Lauren Brooks, feel the fear and do it anyway? She needs a t-shirt, right? Feel the fear and do it anyway. Why do people sit on their couch and watch Netflix and binge Netflix when they should be working? Because it's not scary. Because it's easy to say it's not working and watch Netflix. It's scary to go do a live every night. It's scary to ask your friends to help support your business. It's scary to do those things, so we don't do them. We sit on our couch and watch Netflix. If you commit to yourself, commit all in. Remember what I said in the beginning. Nobody cares about your dreams and goals as much as you do. Nobody. It has to start with you. Do it scared. Do it scared. All right, guys. Go. We are only 4 days in. It is not too late. It is not too late to grab hold of your goal and go. Go. All right, guys. Lauren, thank you for having me. Thank you for putting up with my rambling and hair playing. I know that's super annoying. Bye.